Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 217. On this show, we showcase gun reviewers, gear, and anything else the gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be discussing the Tikka T1 22 long rifle and the Magpul 700 chassis. And tonight with me, I have Rob, Tony, and Zane. So, which one of you guys wants to go first with what you did in guns?
Well, since I'm the only one that's not muted, I'll go. I did two things, Jack and beep.
Yeah.
I've been working my keystroke off at work, so I haven't had time to do anything in guns.
Okay.
Even on my days off, I don't get a day off. So
yeah, that kind of sucks, but we understand.
Yeah, I got to make the money so I can buy guns until Trump decides to ban the guns. Oh wait, this isn't the politics. So.
Hey, no politics.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to beep you. Okay, let's see. Tony's not muted. What'd you do, Tony?
We had an awesome week in guns this week. We launched our AR-15 clinic, which is the first class of the year. We had a great bunch of people come out. We had a husband and wife team come out that had never shot pretty much any rifle before. And I got them on Rob's rifle. I broke out the Anderson Arms upper rifle that we built to introduce people to firearms. So we introduced them to that, used the Hollison 503C. Or 503U, I think it is, red dot. So there was no front sight, rear sight, just the red dot. We zeroed the thing at 25, took it out to 100. This husband and wife were just banging out that target, dude. I mean, it's hilarious because I used to be, you need to learn on iron sights before you go to a red dot. And then when I found out the Marine Corps doesn't even do that anymore, they just put you on the optic now to train people. I was like, well, why don't we just go ahead and check it out? And it was a great time. Sean and I, and we had like half a dozen people or five people, I think, out. Had a great time. Everybody was shooting a lot of different ARs. A lot of fun.
Sweet.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm on board
and we're
with
getting
that.
ready. We're getting ready for next week's Minuteman Challenge too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on board with optics first, just because it takes one of the variables out of one of the fundamentals out of the equation, and you can focus on everything else, and then go back to sight alignment later. Like I think you should absolutely learn to use irons, but I don't think it's necessary. You have to learn them first, because if you can just put a dot on what you want to hit, you can focus on trigger control. And if we're talking about rifles, all the other stuff, bone support, breathing control, all that other crap. So, I've been in that camp for about a year now.
Yeah, I just didn't have any quality optics. And when Hollison donated those couple of optics, and then we put it together with Rob's rifle, it just worked out perfect. And you have a husband that's, I think, 6'3", and a wife that's significantly shorter than that. And both of them were able to use the same rifle. You didn't have to adjust. You didn't have to worry about, a magnified optic that would have, those black spots, and you wouldn't be in the sweet spot. Nothing with a red dot, just boom, right on target. The wife was shooting groups, and the husband was shooting he's one of the great students that anything you told him to correct, he corrected it immediately, and you didn't have to repeat yourself.
Nice. Are you going to do a review on that Hollison, Tony?
Yeah, I think I am. I just use real people to tell me what they think of it, and then I'll put it in industry words, but truthfully, it's real people feedback.
We have the one that they sent me. There's a review I did on. Mine's just like a 503 standard or whatever, and I think the ones Tony got, I think, have the like shielded adjustments or something. But I'm with Tony. That thing, for the price, I really don't think you can do better on that optic on the Holosuns.
Yeah, I'm looking for a dot for my Franken gun here. So,
there's Vortex Spark 2.
Yeah,
out there also.
It's a good optic.
And I mean, I'm not poo-pooing on Vortex at all. But I felt the Holosun was clearer, even though it was an overcast day. You could see the difference in the glass. and the Holosun looked clearer to me.
I almost bought one of the Sig Romeos the other day because Brownells had them for like $140, but they went out of stock because it's
Pretty
right in that
quick.
same price range as the Holosun.
I've shot using one of the Sig ones, and I liked them also. I just haven't put enough time on one because I don't own one. But yeah, for the price, I think the Sig one's also a good choice.
Brownells
know
had them for like $140 last week, and then by the time I added one to my cart, they were back ordered, and I'm sure when they get back in stock, they won't be at that price.
Probably.
Well, it depends. If they let you buy it at $140, they'll usually honor that price.
Yeah, that's true. Brownells is pretty good about that. Not all companies are, but
no. Right. Cheaper than dirt will definitely. Never mind.
Yeah.
Optics Planet will definitely. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well,
Midway USA is also pretty decent about that kind of stuff too.
Yeah,
so.
But their shipping is so slow.
Who?
Midway.
Yeah.
Maybe just to Florida.
I like Midway.
Well, remember, Midway's in the center of the United States. They're in bump. Beep.
There you see. Can't go one episode. Can't go one
6
episode.
minutes. I mean, we were only made it. I mean, geez, 6 minutes. No, geez, Rob.
What happened?
6 minutes.
They're in bump.
Okay, so what'd you do? What'd you do, Zane?
Well, I almost finished my pistol caliber pistol thing, but I couldn't time the. I don't have enough.
Such a stupid term.
Well, it's
Tony came up.
Pistol. Yeah, Tony came up. It's a PCP. I didn't have. It didn't come.
It
with
is not a PCP.
It's a PCP.
Not a PCP.
It sounds like
PCP. Well, there's that. No, so I don't have enough. I didn't have enough shims to fully time the barrel nut. If you're watching, you see I'm pointing at it. So I ordered some more shims. I don't like the handguard I got anyways, but it's kind of hard to find 4-inch handguards. And the only one I found that I like is like $280, and I'm not spending that on a 4-inch handguard.
So you built the entire upper yourself, or did you have it built?
No, I built. I spec'd everything. The only thing that actually nothing came built. The stripped lower, stripped upper. I don't even have a dust cover or a forward assist in the holes, and I probably won't put them in there because they're not necessary for a toy. They're not necessary.
Let me correct myself. You assembled it yourself because there's no machining.
Well, yeah, I assembled it. It wasn't an 80% or anything.
Yeah, but are you going to put something? Are you going to put something in the forward assist hole just to make sure that like crap doesn't get in there?
Ooh,
no,
I know what you put on here.
It's just a toy, so I'm not gonna like put because I shouldn't get the bolt doesn't come back far enough for gas or anything to come out of there. So the only thing that would maybe dirt get in, and I'm not putting a dust cover on it either, so dirt's gonna get in there.
Okay,
so
you're
I'm not extremely concerned with it.
So you're not doing the thorough testing where you bury it in the mud and sand and try to shoot it?
Come on.
No, see, I'm not a gunsmith, so if I'm a real use like duty gun, something I would use like to bet my life on, I'm gonna buy from a reputable manufacturer. I'm not gonna try to build myself because I know what my building skills are. So
join the club, bro.
I don't think Zane's very good with hand tools.
No, the Polymer 80 Glock I attempted turned out terrible, and I'm very impatient. So that's a problem. But yeah, I ordered a flash hider for it. Love the
half by
Faxon
28 thread.
So that's Faxon uses half by 28 thread pitch, which is different from most 9mm. So it was kind of a pain to find a muzzle device that would accommodate 9mm and also thread on the half by 28.
Hey,
but I found one.
I've got a muzzle device that'll fit that. It's about 8 inches long and about 1.5 inches in diameter.
Yeah,
exactly.
We should. Yeah, that would be the ultimate muzzle device for this. We may have to hook up some time and try that out. That could be fun.
How about this? How about this? Just for fun. So if you can reach that, get that. But Gentech, I think, has some faux suppressors that you can put on. It's just a barrel extension.
Yeah.
Again, it's a range toy.
Right. Yeah. I put 33 rounds through it. just to make sure it functioned, and it
Yeah, but
ran
faux
flawlessly.
suppressors, isn't that kind of like going to touch only night at the strip club? I mean, you know,
Like
you know,
going to what?
To what? What
so
strip
like
clubs
look
do
only
you
night
go
or
to?
something at the strip club, you know, where you can't actually touch anything.
That's all strip. I mean,
Um,
I read on the internet. But
Where's
Yeah,
that mute button? We're gonna have to fire Rob again.
Rob's been
You
drinking.
need a rewind button, man. Rob told a little bit too much.
Rob's been drinking tonight.
Ben drinking tonight?
I also, the other thing I did is I modified one of my holsters that's in for review with the old Dr. Scholl's trick. And if you're not familiar with it, I think Melanie Lauer did a write-up on it on the internet. Pretty good write-up.
Yes, she did.
And it really does make a difference for if a holster's not concealing for you. You just slap one of these things on there. I'm going to still screw around with it a little bit because I really like the holster. But it's got some kinks I need to work out on it. So,
Yep.
I think that's about it. I don't think other than when I tested my monstrosity here, I don't think I did anything else trigger pulling wise.
Well, really, you don't really need a handguard. I mean, it's not like it's got enough length there to do anything.
Well, it's not a handguard anyways because it's not designed to be fired with two hands. It's designed and intended to be fired with one hand. So it's a barrel shroud.
Yeah.
Because obviously I would never intend, this was not built with the intention of being fired from the shoulder.
Yeah. No, that's straight blowback, right?
Yeah, it's a blowback. I used the Faxon bolt and the Faxon barrel, and I'm quite happy with both.
Okay, does Faxon have any prohibitions against the use of suppressors with that pistol?
Not that I've heard of.
I would doubt it.
The lower is New Frontier Armory. But
well, I've just talked to several people who've had guns and pistols and stuff. They drop a can on it, then all of a sudden it becomes the bolt gets messed up or something wonky happens to the can, and they go, oh yeah, the manufacturer said don't put suppressors on this type of gun, blah 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 blah. But that shouldn't be an issue though, because that's technically a pistol,
yeah.
So it'd be just like shooting from a Glock or something.
The Faxon bolt, what I like about the Faxon bolt is it comes weighted. It has a extra heavy weight in the rear end of it, so that you can use standard buffers and standard buffered springs. So because of that, I'm going to assume it's set up to work with a suppressor because they put that much thought into weighting the buffer or weighting the bolt more heavily to accommodate for the direct blowback. The barrel they use, they actually have a taper all the way around the chamber to aid in feeding, and I could only put 33 rounds through it, but I had no feeding issues. And blowback 9mm AR platform things are known for feeding issues. But I've heard great things about the Faxon barrel, and that's why I went with it. So once I get everything done, I want to review the products individually. I just don't know how to do that fairly because everything interfacing with one another, so I'm not sure how I'm going to go about that, but I would like to review most everything on this, but I just got to figure out a way to do that fairly.
You could probably
I'll talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, I was going to
say after show.
Okay.
You could review it as
a build,
an assembled gun.
There you go.
With how the parts go together, et cetera, et cetera. I mean,
and it would be extremely anecdotal in nature, but it would be something out there for people. So,
right, give them a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since you guys are all done, I'm pretty much with Rob, and I pretty much did jack for guns this week because, well, I guess I'm a loser too. So I can't even blame
I never said I was a loser, so don't sit there and put those words into my mouth.
Don't worry.
And do not draw inferences from this.
We did earlier. Don't worry about it, dude.
Thanks, Tony. I love you. Pound for pound, you're the best friend I got.
We love you. We love you, Rob. So now we're on to the announcement. Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. When I looked earlier this week, I did not see any new patches for pre-order, but there is still the Patch of the Month Club. So you can go sign up for that and get on board for March's patch, whatever it may be. Listener support program, you can go to firearmsradio.tv/pledge gun gear review podcast. Pledge some money, and eventually it'll get to us when it gets worth sending, I think. If you're shopping Amazon, please use our firearmsradio.tv/Amazon affiliate link. If you want to donate to the 2A4E diversity shoot, you can use the code Simon Says Train, all capitals, at Black Bag Resources, and anything in your cart when you use that code will be donated to Tony.
Yay.
Go, Tony. Ready?
What?
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
And when Rob's on here.
Oh, dear God, yes.
At least you agree.
Oh, yes. I'm just not a loser.
Yeah,
I don't agree to that.
Okay.
Now,
well, we don't have
the island for that statement, but you know,
yeah, we don't
the
vote
podcast.
Off islands. We don't have a review tonight because, well, it's my fault. I was working on one, so we'll have one next week. But we got our product spotlight, and first up is the Tikka T1X with an MSRP of $499. This is their rimfire rifle. Basically, this thing's awesome. Okay, I'm done. No.
No, you're right.
Right now it's a synthetic stock, but I'll go over all this stuff. It's got a cold hammer forged barrel, some weird profile that's supposed to make it more accurate without adding extra weight. It is threaded, so you can put a suppressor on it. It comes with a 10-round magazine. It is available in 22 long rifle and 17 HMR. It runs a stainless steel bolt, so there is that. It has their pistol grip, which is compatible with their T3X accessories, so you can adjust certain things on it. I think they have different options for pistol grips, lengths. It's basically a bedded surface inlaid footprint action, just like their T3 rifles. Uses a modular stock, which has, like as we said, the interchangeable pistol grips. You can modify the angle of the grip, so basically to your liking. Let's see what it's. You can change the width of the stock's forends. Also, it's got some fancy stuff on the stock and the grip, so you get a good grip on it. It does have a metallic bolt shroud, so they're not running one of those cheap plastic ones that other companies use. And let's see. I think I pretty much went through all of the specs on it. But what I'm going to say about this is I actually saw this. I actually purposely stopped and looked at this when I was at SHOT Show. And it's a nice rifle. I'm sure it's accurate. I didn't get to shoot it while I was there, but I did pick it up. You know, I don't have a weight on it, and I don't know if, I mean, it's not like it's heavy, but I figured I'd throw that out there. It's a nice rifle. I'm glad it's threaded. They have 10-round magazines for it. They got a hit with this, especially since really an MSRP of $499 for a Tikka is not a bad price, even though it's a rimfire, and I know Zane doesn't have a use for it. No, he's not going to hate it. He just doesn't have a use for it.
Because I've said this many times in the past, but I like Tikka rifles. If I ever buy another bolt gun, which probably won't happen because I like gas operated guns, but if I ever buy another bolt gun, it's going to be a Tikka. I just don't have a lot of use for rimfire. You know, it's not my cup of tea. Right.
And I like rimfires. I mean, maybe just because they give me more trigger time for the cost. Mm-hmm. But even I can only imagine you find the right ammo with this thing, what this rifle is going to be capable of. Being able to put a suppressor on it, even better.
And there's really no reason to not thread a barrel aside from some states that just hate freedom. There's just no reason to not thread a barrel anymore. Every time a company releases a 22 and they don't at least have a threaded variant, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're missing out on a huge, well, not a huge, but a growing, we'll say, market.
But I mean, the good news about this particular rifle, it's bolt action. So a lot of times in most of those non-freedom loving states, bolt action kind of negates the evil features clauses.
Tony, can you have a threaded barrel if it's not a semi?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can have a threaded. Yeah, you can.
You just can't have the thing that goes on the end of the threaded barrel, right?
Yeah. What I was doing was actually going through and trying to find other quality rifles in this price point. And I was actually looking at CZs. Because
CZ's quality gun.
CZ's has quality bolt action rimfires. But their website is freaking horrific if you're just trying to cruise it and find something. Oh my goodness. This thing is
on the CZ?
Yeah.
The CZ website?
The CZ website has 2 that we know about. I think we talked about it. One is the 455 Varmint Tactic. This is the name of it. The 450 CZ 455 Varmint Tactical Suppressor Ready Rifle.
All right.
We've talked about a few of the CZs, but yeah,
we actually talked about this one because of the name. But what I was looking at was really like, when we talk in ballpark, CZ is a very quality rifle, and I'm talking some of this stuff gets into heirloom quality, which some people don't agree with. But it's like, this is the only one you'll ever have to buy. The same thing with Tikka. This is
what's the MSRP on that CZ?
Dude, I'm waiting for this freaking slow roadkill crap to come through. MSRP is $549.
So it's close.
Street price is going to be down around that $500 mark.
Yeah, around the $500 mark. The other thing is the Ruger American.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Ruger American rolls in at $399, I think, that has the threaded barrel and all that stuff. And I think they have 2 different lengths of pull, but I don't know if they come with it. At least it does. I don't remember it coming with it.
Yeah, what they come with, Tony, is they come with the end of the butt part, the butt plate on the stock. You can take that off and put another one on there to raise the cheek comb up, and I think it might even expand the length of pull a little bit.
Yeah, no, but does it come with it, or is that an aftermarket?
Yeah, because mine came with it. You just take the rear.
Okay.
It's not a stacking swivel. What is the in the back? There's a my brain just
swivel that you.
Yeah, the sling attachment. You pop that out there, then you can take the butt plate cover off, put another one on there, and that one raises the comb height a little bit. So for suppressors or for scopes.
Now the difference
it raises your comb.
And truthfully, there's a significant. I feel there's a difference between a Tikka and a Ruger.
Yeah.
Feel, fit, and finish.
And quality.
Yeah. So there's a difference. And now,
careful, we don't want to bash Ruger because every time we do that, we get a bunch of hate mail.
Yeah, I could give a dang about hate mail.
You're talking to a Ruger fanboy here, so I'll be honest with you. I've never played with the Tikkas, and I really can't comment as to their quality or fit or finish. I've never seen one up close and personal.
Yeah.
But they look like a decent rifle.
They are. Tikka is part of Sacco, which is a quality fin. Both of them are quality fin companies, and both of them work together. Yeah. And I think Tikka's actually, both of them are owned by Beretta at this point.
Yeah, I've been a fan of the Tikka line. I've played with a few of them, and like I said, I would like to have one. I just, currently it's not a necessity, and I don't have a lot of use for if I wanted a 22 for hunting purposes, I would probably get this. This would probably be the gun I would get.
The thing I would keep in mind, though, is that when it comes to Tikka versus Ruger, the Ruger American 22 long rifle is $389, and that one's got the threaded barrel. I mean,
I'd pay the extra $100 for the Tikka all day.
Yeah, the extra $100 for the Tikka would be worth it
all day.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not poo-pooing on Ruger because Ruger's awesome. And
Ruger makes decent products. Well, some of their products.
They make a solid product.
Yeah, it's like
with all the Yeah, and the fact that you could use BX10, the regular
BX25
mags, you
mag.
can use, the 15s or the 25s, depends on the state you live in, and
That's
it's a freaking Ruger. And if you want to change over and swap that barrel out or do some crazy stuff with Taxol or anybody else,
oh well.
it's a freaking
If I was
Ruger.
going to get a semi-auto, I'd go the 1022 all day.
Well,
But
this is where
if I
Ruger
wanted a
has
bolt
the edge
gun,
over
this Tikka
Tikka
is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, Ruger's kind of like Glock in that everybody and their brother makes aftermarket parts for the 1022. Everybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, you can find them up one and down the other.
The market's catching on to Tikka, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're really starting to make a name for themselves because they make a solid action, and that's what's important. Especially these precision guys when it comes to, their 308 guns and their short actions. Their actions are pretty true, and so they're making a name for themselves. So the aftermarket's going to pick up on that, and the aftermarket's going to follow that to the rimfire.
And
it's just the natural progression.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but Ryan Kleckner, I believe he's the one that's he's recommended Tikkas on his podcast.
He's a big fan of the Tikka, from what I understand.
That's my understanding.
It's a smart gun to get, dude. I mean, this is one of the things I've been looking into when I decided to look at stuff. Mainly, okay, sometimes I'm a contrarian and I just don't want to look at another freaking Remington 700 because
wait a minute, you're going to be a contrarian, Tony? Come on.
Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but I'm like, there's other stuff out there from other places that's awesome. It's not like people in Europe starve to death because they don't have good hunting rifles. You know what I mean? It's like they have traditions over there too, and they have awesome companies, and this is just one of them.
Yeah, I think.
I don't get though with this is they say there's a pistol grip. I don't see a pistol grip on this rifle. It looks like a regular stock.
It's just what it's called. You know that.
It's that the angle on it is a little.
Angle is a pistol.
And I'll be honest with you,
steeper.
On my Ruger Precision, I honestly don't care for the pistol grip. I would rather have a regular stock on it. A regular.
The cool thing about this, the cool thing about this is it swaps out with any T3 chassis.
Yes.
So the Tikka T3 chassis, this will swap out with it.
The angle on this,
like something else.
That. Very good for them.
So for those listening and haven't pulled it up, the angle on this kind of looks like it's a similar angle to like the Magpul shotgun stocks. So it's not a true the angle of the pistol grip. So it's not a true pistol grip, but it's also not a traditional stock. Mm-hmm. It's got that angle that's similar to that shotgun stock that Magpul released. It's kind of what it reminds me of a little bit. I don't know if you guys see that or think I'm crazy.
Like they said, no, I see it, but plus, like they said, they have different ones you can get for the T3 accessories. So if you want a fatter one,
stippling, and I don't know if I like the texture they put on the grip. That's just my personal opinion, or my personal take.
Yeah, until I feel one, I should say, the one I felt didn't feel like uncomfortable or anything, but I just picked it up, held it, and that was it. I didn't like hold on to it for an hour to see how I liked it. So
yeah, right.
Let's see. So there's there's no like rail mount or scope mount setup. So you're definitely gonna have to get that squared away.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it uses standard rings, doesn't it?
Okay. Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's what they do, you know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's drilled and tapped or I couldn't. It didn't really say in their stuff.
Even when I was watching videos from SHOT Show, it really didn't go into that.
Yeah, and I didn't even pay attention when I looked at it. So it tells you how good a use I am. I know.
I mean,
I'm like, okay.
They got to do something, whether it's a set of rings that you can mount to the action, or whether it's just a mount.
Well, more than likely, European rail. Thing was it 14 millimeter rails.
Oh, it's gonna use that stupid 22 rail.
Yeah, the 14 millimeter.
Yeah.
Weaver mount. I was just looking at it somewhere else. I was looking at it with the CZs, how they mount. So more than likely, that's it. The American market's really into the Picatinny now on top of everything because it just works so damn well.
Because they're cool. It's what the military uses, and the military uses the best of everything.
And hey, guess what? It was developed here in Jersey at the Picatinny Arsenal.
Can you guys have Picatinny in Jersey?
We can have Picatinny. Okay. Only because it's been here before the NFA, because it was in 1913. It was developed.
Right.
It's the Picatinny route.
It's because it's not threaded.
It was developed in 1913, so it was prior to NFA.
Yeah.
When it comes to 22 long rifle pistols, rifles, whatever, I just don't get why they don't make everything compatible with the Ruger BX25 mags, because everybody and their brother seems to make those magazines.
Because the European market doesn't care about Ruger, and this is not made for the American market. It originally wasn't made for the American market.
Because then you have to buy their magazines, right?
Right.
You got to buy Tikka magazines. They developed it for it. I'm not really, I could care less. I mean, really, everything doesn't have to be a Ruger mag. I know what you mean, though, but everything doesn't have to be a Ruger mag or a Ruger feeding system.
Hey, it's a bolt gun. We can just load them individually.
But trust me, with my CZ freaking Ultra Lux, yeah, I want cheaper mags. I wish it took freaking magazines.
Tony, did your CZ come with a block mag so you can single load stuff?
No, it did not.
Mine did. It came with two magazines, the regular magazine, and then one that is just fits in the hole, and it's just got a plastic top so you can single load them.
Yeah, no.
I
got one 5-round mag. I got one 5-round mag, and I think I paid $40 for a second 10-round.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I'm like, yeah, this better last the rest of until my fat ass dies.
Well, it might. Okay, so
yeah, it's true.
The general census is even Zane likes the Tikka. Okay, well that's good. Now we'll move in.
What do their magazines cost? Because I see them on their website from $34 to about $100, but that's for a 308 though.
Yeah, so I'm thinking probably if it's
$40
like the other stuff, it's probably 30 to $50.
Yeah, because they don't have like I don't see a 22 long rifle magazine. So
I think the thing so
does 17, and don't forget it does 17 HMR too.
True.
They're available.
Which 17 HMRs are really, really cool caliber if you're like rimfire hunt.
Yeah, I actually like the 17 HMR. If I were to buy one of these, I'd probably buy it in the 17 HMR, not the 22 long rifle. Actually, just personal preference because it's a bolt gun.
Yeah, why is that?
It's a bolt gun.
Because of the flat shooting and bolt gun? All right.
Yeah. And we have things called sage rats around here. Well, Eastern Oregon. So we go shoot them and they explode like prairie dogs. They're just like a third the size.
That's got to be cool. So you're shooting them things with a 308, right?
Oh, you can shoot them with whatever. Actually, I will say, I will mention something. That actually, if you shoot them with like a 17 HMR or like a 223, with anything with like a ballistic tip or something, actually, when you shoot them, they're so small because they're like the size of a squirrel, not like a gray squirrel, like a smaller squirrel, that they actually, if you shoot them with anything else that's not a varmint bullet, basically you just punch a hole in them. I mean, even like a 308 hunting bullet,
Hey, Chad,
starts to expand, but not really.
I wonder what a 50 BMG would do to that.
Jesus,
that would destroy one. Yes,
nothing like overkill, right?
Yeah, that would be
working too hard.
Rob's
been working too hard. And he's just
way too hard.
Yeah, so there is that.
Would they be good eating?
Okay,
I don't know. I've never had them.
No, not those.
Okay,
these are varmints that eat alfalfa and. You just
22 long rifle and maybe even a 17 HMR be good to take squirrel because you'd at least have something you could process for dinner.
I would think you would want to use the full metal jackets in the 17 HMR for squirrels because if you use the varmint loads, I think it would just wreck too much meat.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to. Yeah, you want to be able to conserve the meat.
Yeah, and there's not much there anyway.
Yes, the animal gave its life. It's up to you to take as much meat and harvest as much of the animal that you can.
Make some squirrel jerky or something. So now what we have next up is our Magpul Pro 700, which is their Remington 700 chassis that Magpul makes. Now, the MSRP on this thing is $999.95.
What?
Okay. Which, to me, seems a little high for a chassis. Now, there's other chassis out there. It does have a lot of features. So I'm going to go through all of these features. Some of them probably don't really matter, but some do. So it is billet aluminum, as most chassis are. It'll work with both right and left hand versions of the rifle. It does have a folding stock with a reversible hinge. So if you do have a lefty or a righty action, you can fold it whichever way you want. Okay, the features. Type 3 hard anodized, 6061 aluminum. It is V bedding. It has a V bedding block, which a lot of them do. Adjustment knobs on and forend with high strength injection molded polymer body covers. So, kind of on the forearm and stuff like that. The ambidextrous bedding blocks can be changed by swapping the QD sling swivel plate and bolt cutout plate for left and right hand actions using an 1/8 inch hex wrench. The folding stock with push button activated durable steel hinge with melanite finish is reversible, which we talked about. A fixed stock adapter is available if you don't want the folding one. The folding stock is designed to avoid interference with the bolt handle. Excuse me, it's choking me up over here. So, and that is also with a large variety of the aftermarket bolt knob handles. The optional inline mount for clip-on night vision and thermal imaging, because some people have that. The length of the pole is adjustable from 13 1/4 to 15 1/8. The butt pad height can also be adjusted up 1.33 inches and down 0.9 inches, and is adjustable left or right 5 degrees. The comb height adjustment has a 1-inch range with a locking nub to eliminate movement in the cheek riser. The cheek riser is 3-position 4 aft adjustment, so you can move it plus 3/8 of an inch or minus 3/8 of an inch or 0, which would be the center. It has an injection molded polymer grip with a 5-degree forward edge sweep and enlarged palm swell with a 7-degree aft sweep with a 3/4 inch 4 aft trigger reach adjustment. Wow, that's a lot. In fact, I think that one I have no idea what is. Kind of seems like it's the angle, but it doesn't mean much to me. Maybe you guys can help me out. It has an additional grip option included with a more aggressive forward sweep and aft sweep of 8 and 20 degrees. It has limited QD sling swivel mounts for 1.5 inch push button swivels, the normal M-lock slots. Imagine that. 6 on the left, 6 on the bottom, or 6 on the right and 7 on the bottom. And the stock has 2 on the bottom. It uses Accuracy International pattern magazines. So you can use the Magpul PMag 5s and 10 7.62s. Has a larger trigger glove for gloves. Has a low profile mag release. Also melanite treated. Ambi thumb shelf for firing hand thumb placement if you shoot that way. And it includes screws for action screws. It weighs by itself 5.4 pounds. The height at the butt plate is 5.2 inches. The max width is 1.86 inches. It's anywhere from 32.7 to 34.6 inches long, 23.5 when folded. Wow, that's a mouthful. Now,
we are so far out of my lane. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on this one.
Okay.
Congratulations, Dad. You managed to shut him up.
I try my best.
We need to review this more often.
No, he stays in his lane mostly. He really doesn't go outside of it.
The only thing that's out of my lane on this is when they were talking about the pistol grip.
Hey, in all seriousness, are you channeling your inner Cross? Are you channeling Ryan through this review?
Dude, that is funny. You can slide that pistol grip forward and backwards. You can move it further or closer to the stock, I guess you'll say.
So this thing's like uber adjustable to fit your body.
Yeah, it's a transformer.
Yeah.
You can move it all around. So I'm looking at the MSRP, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Again, it's a lot of money, but maybe it's a lot of maybe it's just that darn awesome. But I was still on a Tikka thing, and I looked at the T3X TAC1 A1. Of course, it's a game changer.
Yes,
because that's what it says.
I looked at one of the big box stores the other day and like handled it, and I wanted to go home with it.
So it has a lot of adjustment too, but for $1,899 MSRP, you get the chassis and a freaking Tikka rifle. So I mean,
well, yep. What is a let's face this. What does a used Remington 700 cost? Because you don't want to buy the new ones. They're part of Freedom Group.
Well, that's a thing.
A used one probably costs more than a new one.
You're probably right.
Lord, I apologize for that.
You're probably right. I mean, but you don't want to just throw, I don't think, any Remington 700 in this chassis either.
Not $1,000 chassis. You're not.
Now, what is a comparable MSRP on a chassis from another country? Because I don't do the long range thing. I don't even know what chassis cost.
The thing
is this outrageous, or is this
way above
on par?
It's not outrageous for the adjustability. The thing is a lot of the chassis you don't get like a folding adjustable stock with it, so you have to put like an AR stock on or some other style of stock on it, like modular driven technologies. Their chassis run around like $500.
Okay,
but then if you want to put their adjustable aluminum stock on it, those are another like $250. So there's $750. Now, if you want to make it a folder, you got to add, however much the folder is. So say $850.
So this is kind of aimed at the serious precision shooter, the guy or gal who competes and is This isn't really aimed at
Hey Zane, I would imagine if you put a Remington 700 on this, you're just putting a Remington 700 action, because the bolt, the barrel, the firing pin, everything you mount to that is going to be custom made, one off.
Well, and the thing is in my opinion, if you're buying this chassis, you're probably buying something, like a Defiance action or something.
Oh yeah,
that you're having a custom gun built on.
You're dropping probably $5,000 into a scope, maybe $3,000 into a rifle, and this is just like the cheapest part of the whole build.
That's probably true, and but
you're doing a really, really nice scope. Like what Schmidt and Bender or something like that. Those scopes I drool over that I can't afford.
And but the thing is there's a market for this. I mean, I think it's a little higher price than some of their competitors. One, it's a Magpul, so okay. But with all the adjustability and everything you get in it, I don't think it's terrible. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not.
I mean,
terrible.
I think it's cool, but I don't like. Again, I don't know anything about precision shooting really. So, but I think it looks really cool.
I mean, for the adjustability you get, they say you can swap around the way the stock folds over. You can change everything. My only problem is with something like this is, for me, the price. I'm not going to buy something like this just because I don't want to spend that kind of money on a stock. But I'm at a point where my Ruger Precision, I would love to be able to put just a regular stock on it, just because that pistol grip kind of drives me nuts because I don't use it. I don't wrap my thumb around the pistol grip when I shoot it. I usually lay my thumb off to the side, like you see the person shooting this rifle in the header picture,
right,
has his thumb laid up against the side of the rifle as opposed to wrapped around the pistol grip.
And that's one thing it did say in there is, it does have that little ledge there for you to put your thumb on to shoot that way, because a lot of people do shoot that way.
Yeah,
so
I've seen that quite often. I see that quite often. I don't think
that's a personal
rare
thing. I've seen people who wrap their thumb around the grip, people who wrap their thumb around the stock. Usually I don't, but
Yeah, and I think it's kind of how you learned, how you do it. Like when I shoot my rifle with my chassis, it's got a pistol grip on it, and I put I shoot it like a normal pistol grip, except I don't actually latch on it with my thumb like I would with like an AR. My thumb's just more relaxed, and then I grab the pistol grip with like the front with my fingers, and that's just how I shoot. But I could put the thumb up, and it's not really going to make much difference for me. But
I mean, you guys know I love to shoot long range, but I mean, this particular chassis to me is right now way above my abilities to shoot long range right now.
Oh yeah, it's way above mine too. But it's still it's a neat.
I think it's amazing what they've done with this.
Yeah,
especially when you consider that most of the adjustments for the comb, the length of pull, and the height of pull, they appear to be via like a screw, twist knob, as opposed to Ruger's got the little flippy toggle switch, and that just drives me nuts trying to adjust it. It's a pain.
Yeah, the twist knobs, I'm with you, are
easy,
much nicer. Yeah.
Well, none of that, but you can get easier adjustments and usually a more finer adjustment versus like the way Ruger has it set up. You have to flip a knob, move it, and then flip it back into position to lock it down. Then you try it out, I hate it. Then you got
like a quick release cantilever, or like a quick throw on like an optic, something like that.
Yeah, it's a toggle. I call it a toggle switch, but yeah, you're right. It's more like a lever that you flip. Whereas this one's more like a knob you rotate, so you get a lot more. And I'm assuming you can get a lot more finer adjustments out of it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much, being it's on a screw, it's pretty much infinitely adjustable, probably. Yeah, but, I mean, easy. Yeah,
like I
easier.
Said, it looks cool, but again, we're so far out of my lane when it comes to precision stuff. I can't really offer any. I can't really offer any intelligent feedback on this.
Well,
yeah, I'm really over here like, I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Well, and that's the thing is, I don't even know a lot about them, but I know that like the V blading blocks, basically my understanding, and I still could be wrong, is with the chassis, it kind of takes the place of what you used to have to do with bedding them, and they run a V system in them so that you clamp it down, and it's going to clamp down in the same spot every time. It's rigid, and that's about the extent of my understanding.
Yeah. And there's one reality that I've learned with my Ruger Precision. The only thing the foldable stock does, or the collapsible stock does, is for transport. Because once you get to the range, I don't think you're going to be taking this kind of a stock, putting a rifle on it, and going humping through the woods with it, because it'll be too heavy.
This is almost 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is like with PRS shooters, a lot of them are running suppressors. So, you could
there's
probably
a match. I can't remember the name of the match, but there's a match where you have to like move over the course of the match. I want to say it's several kilometers, and you have to carry all your stuff with you. And
is that the one where it's a team? The sniper's
hide? Is that what it's called?
It might be that.
People, sniper and a spotter, and they score you on a bunch of different things.
Yeah, they have like armed. You have to do your land navigation to get to the right targets,
right,
at checkpoints at the right times, and but something like that. Yeah, I mean, you still might want something lighter, but I don't know.
If you've got to carry your rifle with you or drag it behind you, I probably would not go for something like this, mainly because, especially if you're doing any kind of dragging or slinging it, I mean, there's a lot of points to be snagged by.
Well, I'm going to assume once you get it, and I could be wrong again, but I'm going to assume once you have things where you want them, you would probably either Loctite or at a very minimum put witness marks on the stuff so that you would be able to take a quick glance and see if anything had rotated. I would think.
Yeah,
at least that's what I would do.
I would think so too, or maybe
not
not.
everybody's as smart as you.
Well, no, that's an understatement, but because I'm the most brilliant person I know.
That's not true. That's not true. You know us.
He stays by himself a lot. That's why he thinks he's brilliant.
Well,
well, he defines no definitely differently than we do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think Magpul knows what the heck they're doing when it comes to stuff like this. I think they probably price themselves just right for all the features they give. And yeah, it's Magpul, so what, you think it's about 20% more expensive than it needs to be?
But I do know a person that if they need a chassis for a Remington 700, will buy this.
Yeah, I know him too.
Yes, I know him too.
Okay, well,
but
I think
if you do look at the rifles they have on these, it look like they're really, really, really high-end setups. I mean, because one of the ones they've got looks like it's got a graphite barrel with a really smoking loophole scope, nice set of rings. I mean, this is,
Oh yeah, like kind of like we said earlier, it's for somebody
you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you just bought a 700 off the shelf, slapped it on this thing, and took it to the range.
Went to Walmart and picked up a Remington 700.
Yeah,
on their bankruptcy sale.
Oh, that's good, Tony. That's good. Well, I'm going to put this chassis to bed now, and we'll go to the listener feedback. Oh wait, we didn't have any. So we get to go to the second is for everyone diversity shoots with Tony. And for your information, Tony, I did add your Patreon page in there.
I really appreciate you adding my Patreon page. So you guys go ahead, get on the Patreon. We're coming up with different levels. Thanks, Rob, for being the first person to sign up for the Patreon. I really appreciate that. Got it rolling.
Woohoo!
Hey, listen, man, you're the first. And
do I get an extra shirt out of it or something?
What was that?
Do I get an extra shirt or something?
I'm sorry, I broke my glasses. I can't hear you. So what's going on? What's going on with the Second is for Everyone is the next Second is for Everyone diversity shoot is set up for April 5th. But this is what's going on tomorrow in Trenton. Tomorrow in Trenton, in the Judiciary Committee, they vote on whether to send the new bill to reduce our magazine capacity from 15 to 10. They vote on that tomorrow, along with making ammunition that's already against the law for us to have in America. They're making that against the law. Yeah, the 5.7 ammo that's armor piercing. Yeah, New Jersey just got around to making that illegal. What else? That's one of the bills they're voting on tomorrow. They're voting on a background check for private firearm sales. That's something they want to require too. One of those instant whatever. Here's the thing about Jersey. This is what's so stupid about what's going on. To buy, for me to sell someone I know in state a pistol, that person has to go to the police. They have to get a background check done. They have to get their fingerprints done. And then the police has to do the background check that takes between 30 days and however the heck long. Some places like Jersey City takes 1.5 years. So after they do that background check, they get their pistol purchase permit. They can come to my house to buy the pistol from me, and I'd have to take them to get a background check. Yeah, welcome to the state of New Jersey. This is one of the rules they're trying to pass tomorrow. See, what they do in a state like this is try to kill the Second Amendment by making it inconvenient. If any of these rules were put in place to vote, they'd lose their ever-loving mind. So tomorrow, me and a bunch of other people will be going to testify in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. If you live in Jersey and you listen to this, go on ANJRPC, Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs.org. Go there. It will have all the links to all the assembly persons and all the legislators who are sponsoring this bill and everything else, and also have contact information for your legislators. write them, email them, and call them. We have to put pressure on them so they don't sign this stupid crap into law, because 10-round mags suck. I have no idea where I'm finding them at for an AR. It pretty much is going to make everything I own illegal. It's ridiculous. And they're talking 18 months in jail per magazine over the 10-round limit. So anyway, that's what's going on with the Second is for Everyone. April 5th, we have the Diversity Shooter Gun for Higher Range. Tomorrow, I'm going to go speak. We have a GoFundMe page, which you guys want to donate to that, you can. And if you also want to donate to our Patreon and become a Patreon, we're coming up with some cool stuff. Hopefully, if you like it, we're going to have some pretty exclusive gift items for people that donate over a certain percentage. We're just going ahead and get it all together so I can take really cool pictures and show you guys what's available if you donate. So, as always, thank you very much for allowing me to talk about this. Check out Simon Says Train on Instagram. You can also join the Second is for Everyone on our Facebook page. Hope you guys enjoyed me on this Week in Guns last week. I had a lot of fun doing it. And always, as always, you can find all this on diversityshoot.com along with our really cool podcast Sean and I put together once a week called The Second is for Everyone podcast.
Thanks. Woohoo, thanks, Tony. Now we'll get into the wrap up. Send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. If you would like to sponsor this show somehow, or you can also send something to that gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review, because, we'll probably read it and answer you and stuff like that. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook/Firearms Insider. Follow us at Firearms Insider on Instagram. Thanks for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network, and we are out.